Allow me to reintroduce myself.
You are now tuning in to the Snap Call Podcast.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Snap Call. I'm Xavier.
I'm Ice.
Hector. Fernando.
And I don't know if we've ever had, well, I guess it's been a really, really long time to have all four of us on video. So, Fernando, thank you for joining us.
I am glad to be here.
And this is not a new venue whatsoever. This is just a new backdrop here at Orange City Poker. As you guys know, we stream directly on the live stream table where they do cash games as well as final tables. And they just updated the backdrop, and it is looking sharp. Very similar to what they have in Daytona. Personally, I kind of like this one a little bit more. But this thing is beautiful, to say the least. If you're thinking about coming down to Orange City right now, they have a $130 triple stack turbo, 30,000 chips, 15-minute blinds, and right now I'm sure they smash whatever they were going for. 2K up top and 72 total entries at this time. So 73
Monday
now.
Night, 73.
Monday
crazy.
night. And definitely, I mean, clearly their strategy's working, right? They've been doing the leaderboards now. So for those of you that don't know, they have leaderboards that essentially pay out, I think it's like a $5,000 prize pool essentially to the top 5 people. And it's a points-based system for the entire month. So come on down, play in some of these tournaments. Even on a Monday night, the tournaments are getting big.
Oh yeah, we're gonna jump into a few controversial topics to start off. Right around my alley, I like it. So the first one we got Fedor Holtz says WSOP bans are coming for online poker cheaters. Basically, Fedor is a GG Poker integrity ambassador, and he stated that bans are coming for players that use RTA, which is real-time assistance on the platform, and will lead to WSOP bans. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
About time. It's not going to happen, but it's about time.
Yeah.
You know, they've been playing around with that. I mean, how do you enforce it, really, except when someone accidentally posts a picture and they have, a GPT wizard in the background? Like, how are you supposed to do that?
So
There's no other way unless someone just kind of outs themselves,
So this is coming after GG Poker and GTO Wizard partnership. So they partner together. So I'm pretty sure GTO Wizard probably gives information to GG Poker, like who's using their software at a certain time and what's like the background or something like that. Because there's some apps you can't like, especially like some phone apps. Like if you try to record, like for example, I was trying to record something, like record the screen and use CapCut at the same time. I couldn't do it. So there's like apps know what's going on outside as well too. So I think with this partnership, they kind of can figure out who's using it, who's not.
Okay.
And they closed 31 player accounts since that partnership.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
If that's what I want to see. I think the biggest thing for me is how many accounts are they closing, right? It's pretty similar to like the software that people run when they're cheating in video games, right? Like, and they're announcing they're closing thousands of accounts at a time because it don't cost any money to make an account. You could just make infinite accounts. So people will keep doing it. What they need to start doing is they need to start banning people, verifying people's like identities when they first sign up. So if they try to open up another account, they're right away. But also, I'm sure they're doing this, but just in case, banning like IP addresses. So like, once you know there's a cheater coming from that laptop can never get on that site again. Like, ban the entire device as a whole. I think that's going to be the biggest way around it. But to me, the most exciting thing is 31 player accounts. Obviously not a huge number, but it's a start.
Do we know any of these, like, being notable people?
They didn't release any names on the accounts they banned.
Okay.
So I think, honestly, I think since GG Poker's first year at the WSOP, they're going to have some online bracelet events.
Yeah.
And what's going on with ACR, I think they felt like they had to make a statement like, hey, our website is safe.
Yeah.
Come play with us. And this is the actions we're doing to make sure you guys feel comfortable. Just because at the end of the day, I don't know, GG Poker wasn't like the best trusted website either.
Yeah.
So the fact I think like they're making this statement is to say like, hey, we got the WSOP and now we're improving and we're not ACR. Because believe it or not, ACR has a lot of players that play.
Yeah, I like the vertical connection that you can, be flagged on GG Poker and WSOP is banned. I mean, I feel like that's a big enough incentive not to go down that route.
Yeah.
I also, just for the sake of numerology, 31 player accounts being closed. This is our 31st episode of Snap Call, and we're all together.
Oh, look at that.
So, just a little.
So real quick, going back to
kismet.
GG Poker's software, what's funny about all this, and I saw this on the way here, was that GG Poker had, and I don't know if it happened today or yesterday, but they had a $150, $5 million guaranteed tournament that got shut down in the middle of the tournament, and they ended up refunding all of the players their money because their software wasn't working and they couldn't fix it. So it's like this is great
Yeah.
that GG Poker and GTO Wizard are coming together and kind of track stuff down, but like clearly, it's like it's kind of hard to trust these softwares because you can't even get the games to run correctly. Like a $5 million guarantee tournament. Can you imagine being the chip leader in that thing, and then all of a sudden they're giving you a refund for $150 because they can't get the site to work?
I mean, I'm optimistic. It sounds good, but we'll see.
See, I'm the opposite, and I don't trust online poker. Like I think the glory days of Full Tilt, Poker Stars, Ultimate Bet, and stuff like that, where you play and then that whole Black Friday thing happened. In poker, it was like after that, like I think if I leave more than $200 in the account, it's a lie, and that's because I'm just like, if I wake up tomorrow and it's not there, I'm gonna be pissed.
Okay, so I'll ask you this then. So in obviously Florida, we don't have, what they have in Vegas and Jersey and Pennsylvania. If you were there, would you trust WSOP and GG Poker there? Since it's
Probably,
legal?
yeah, probably more. But I probably trust more like Poker Stars or something like that,
Okay.
more than GG Poker.
Yeah, I would agree. I would if they made online poker legal in Florida, I'd probably be on Poker Stars the majority of the time, WSOP during the series, and then I'm probably not touching GG Poker or ACR. I've just I mean, we're gonna talk about it here in a second. There's just something about ACR that comes up every week. It seems like, and in poker, you're always gonna have cheaters. You're always gonna have people that are looking to get an edge. Like it is what it is, especially when you have money involved. But you're supposed to be able to put trust in the platform, and when they have responses like they have in the past, like we looked at ACR's response calling Nacho a silly or whatever the heck. It's he's a silly guy or whatever. Like that puts no trust in their platform. So
And then, there's Poker Stars, and there's another big poker website that launched not that long ago, Club WPT Gold. If you guys been on social media, you know that their account is on fire. Their Twitter account is on fire. Basically taking shots at ACR. And this came from Ebony Kenny. She's a ACR pro. She posted a picture. They looked up like archives of her back in the day where she posted a picture of her with GTO Wizard open. And then everybody from social media pretty much bashed her. And then Club WPT came out with that little video skit where they included Nacho, Moneymaker, everybody there.
the shook ones.
Yeah. Honestly, like, obviously, there's players that, like Moneymaker, stuff like that, like, like, we don't feel like he's cheating and stuff like that. So, like, we don't like to see him and stuff like that. But at the same time, on the other end, for me, it was comical. And it was, like, a great watch there. What do you guys think?
I mean, for Club WPT, good for them because like they just launched. They're essentially going like the Club GG route or whatever one we've been doing, right? Or GG Poker's Club GG route. So like their model's very similar, and that's kind of like the loophole of online poker right now is like the subscription based stuff. So they're just capitalizing on these misfortunes of all these other sites, and it just makes them look better. I just thought it was funny because they're not playing no games with some of the stuff they're doing. I love that. I love competition in the space because, they're gonna fight to gain the trust of the players because they want a share of the pie. So that's good for the players. But going back to Ebony Kenny stuff, like she said, it was a year ago, and she was in a spot, and after the hand, she pulled up, these charts, and she wanted to see if she made the right move at the end of the day. Obviously, no one's gonna believe that. If you can have that up the whole time, why wouldn't you, right? So, I don't know. I can't trust it, right? But it begs the question, like, if they're gonna allow it, and other people are doing it, are you busting out charts and having them open while you're playing?
No.
Or are you gonna play the moral high ground and no one's even around you to check you?
No, I don't think I've ever, I won't say I've had like push fold charts up at certain points, but it's yeah, I don't have GTO Wizard on my computer or anything like that. I don't have any real time assistance. Um, but yeah, I think that's as far as I've gone. So I can say that. But for club, you know, club WPT, I'm all for it. I mean, give me all the smoke. I mean, any Twitter handle like Wendy's just throwing shots at Burger King. It's just fun. It's funny, and when it's done right, and those memes they they were funny. They were funny.
I think if ACR had a very professional approach to how they were handling this, and he came out and said, "We're gonna make sure this isn't done. We're gonna protect our players, yada yada yada." That's one thing, but because their response was so goofy,
Yeah.
like if I'm Club
Yeah, you left yourself
WPT,
open.
it's like these guys are making themselves the butt of the joke. Let's just go in on them, and then they're getting extra publicity for their new site they launched. So
Yeah.
And I think the reason that is because I feel like ACR, with Nacho and then a lot of people like being accused of RTA and just cheating on that website. I feel like they haven't lost like players or anything like that. So they're like, hey, all this controversy and we're still making money. So they just like we're getting bigger, so we don't care, you know.
yeah,
But I like what Club WPT Gold is doing. Like they're like, hey, we want all the smoke, and they doing that to take players. Like end of the day, it's a money thing.
Yeah.
So
Hey, Fernando, grab this mic real quick. I got a question for you. So, as someone that doesn't play poker, right? You never deposited money on an online site before, and you've never played online poker. Let's say your interest has peaked now. You've played with us for a couple months, and you're like, you know what? I want to deposit $50 and try it out. What are you looking for when you're going to deposit on a site? Like, is it like a deposit bonus? Is it the security? Is it the quality and the strength of the players? Like, what's important for you?
For me, it's more security, or I guess if I'm to look at these different platforms, I want to see like which is the one that's the most trusted, or the one that's not going to have a lot of controversy behind it. Because at the end of the day, whether I win money or I lose money, $50 is $50. There's more of the principle. Like if I have confidence or trust, I mean, it's kind of like let's just take like Viet cars for example. You have certain brands that you just hear a lot of bad things. You're not gonna wanna you're not gonna wanna buy that. You're gonna wanna So for me, it's more security, more like am I putting my money in something that's reputable, or am I putting my money in something that a lot of people are having issues? A lot of people are saying, oh, don't get scammed, don't get scammed, don't get scammed. So for me, it's more security.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense.
I mean, going back to the whole like if it was legal here, I think I would pick GG Poker over Poker Stars, but I haven't seen their interface. For me, it's
So why would you pick them over it?
I mean, it would be the interface, like how it just plays. You know what I mean? If I like how it looks and it feels good to play there. Poker Stars always had like an older, grittier type feel, and I'm just like, man, I wish it would update. But I know it's been a while, so I'm sure they have had updates.
Yeah.
But the last time I played on GG Poker, I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I would, and the fact that it's streamlined into WSOP would be the other. So for me, if as soon as we went legal, GG Poker would probably be my first stop.
It does make me wonder, like, GG Poker purchase WSOP, but they have their own platform, and then during the series, WSOP has their own platform as well. Mm-hmm. So it makes me wonder if at some point are they going to become one?
I don't think so. I think
Or it's just-
I think you want to respect each brand. Like WSP has such a history that you want to respect that and just like have it be its own thing and let it grow and see how much you can grow it with your GG Poker helping it, and at the same time, WSOP can only grow GG Poker.
It's just my thing.
You know what I mean?
But like, they are competing at the end of the day.
I don't see how. How are they competing?
They're both offering poker games at the same exact time, and you have options.
But I think they're collaborating on that.
but didn't it?
But they're two separate platforms. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So it's no different than like Poker Stars and GG Poker. You said you play on GG Poker, but you have options, right? So if
Yeah,
you had an option
you
to play on
have options.
WSOP or GG Poker, and let's just say they're the same company.
WSOP is still running games the same time they're running bracelet events.
But they're both run. But WSOP
you know,
doesn't just run during the series; they run year long.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. There's two platforms.
Okay.
You may not look at them as competitors,
You're
but
talking about the online, like playing WSOP.
we're talking about
online
we're talking about
poker.
Yeah, we're talking about
Okay,
platforms. We're not talking about
alright.
live.
Okay, I get what you're saying now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it makes me wonder at some point if it will become one.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
GG Poker
Yeah,
goes
okay.
away and it
Yeah,
becomes a
okay.
WSOP platform.
I can see that.
Which
yeah.
I'd obviously rather keep the WSOP name.
Yeah.
Because why have two platforms if they're the same company at the end of the day?
Yeah.
You have two different player pools. Just put them into one.
WSOGG.
I don't know. I'm just,
Be horrible. Don't do that. That's not a good name.
Yeah, I think GG Poker is going to do whatever they can to leverage WSOP. It's going to be one. They have to. They spent too much money to acquire it. They got to make money, and the best way to make money is leaving the WSOP name.
I haven't played on WSOP, but from what I hear on like Boski and like other people, like there's not much action on there. Like unless it's something you know about, like hey, there's a high stakes game. Like you're not just gonna come across that like normally. Like there's not a lot of cash going on there, and then you just have the online events, and that's it. They're not like ACR or GG that are hosting all these high games.
Yeah.
But again, I haven't been there in a while.
and I think that gives it
I don't know.
that gives them even more reason to merge, right?
Yeah.
You have two different player bases, merge them into one, make them use one platform, and now your player base has doubled.
Yeah.
And now you can bring the best of both worlds. But yeah, from what I understand, WSOP really peaks obviously during the series because they offer bracelet events. So it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of events,
We have going on now. We have the Triton Poker Super High Roller Series in Jeju. I think that's what you say is going on now. Started the 26th of February and ends March 15th.
Okay.
One of the first events was the 25K, and a familiar name won it. Jeremy Osmus took home $1.892 million. What are your thoughts?
Guy's on fire, man.
guy's killing it.
Yeah. I mean,
Player of the year, right? Player of the year last year.
We gotta check his lap to see if he has real time assistance on his.
Yeah, honestly,
palms.
there's no surprise there.
Yeah.
Like it's tough field, and he came out on top. He's just on a super heater, crazy run.
25 mil
25.
in career earnings.
Yeah.
Absolutely killing it the last year alone.
Yeah.
Did that update the 1 point something million? Usually that takes a while.
Well, his best is still 2.1, so it wouldn't be there.
No, but total it should
yeah.
have it on the.
But that's.
It's like it's not close enough, so I can't make it close. I'm trying to make it so you can see the other view where it has the lists.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's not listing it like normal. I don't know.
Jeremy Osmus.
But yeah, no surprise there. The guy's just an absolute killer. 36 on the all-time money list. A feared name if he's in the pool, and he's he could play in a. There you go. Here it is. You can play in a pool. Yeah, it's right there. 1.9. If he's in the field, he's a threat to win it. Like that's just how good some of these people are. And he was what WSOP Player of the Year this past year.
No.
Right?
No, that was Seaver.
No,
He was.
So he was second.
He was GP. Yeah, he was like second or third, but
He
he's
was
GPI.
That's what
Player
it
of
was.
the Year.
Player of the Year.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah, he was second.
so he won it, but the guy that took the headlines was a famous poker vlogger by the name of Wolfgang Poker. He finished fourth in that tournament for $680K.
For Wolfgang.
I think this was his first high roll event like that, and he finished fourth. He finished in front of notable players like Fedor, one of Ice's favorite, Patrick Antonius, Adrian Mateos, Dan Smith, Cormier, Phil Ivey, the Foxens, and Stephen Chidwick. What do you guys think about Wolfgang's performance there?
I mean, he's the biggest poker player on YouTube right now in terms of like subs.
What are
super
you
popular.
doing messing around, man?
He's got a
This could be you.
he's got a poker room in Texas. He's kind of like Rampage, right? Like he just has this like, he's playing 2-5 the other day, and then now he's taking shots at high rollers, and like Rampage, it paid off. Wolfgang's now paid off, and with 680K, he's probably going to be a staple now moving forward. And
He's the poker
jealous.
Bryson DeChambeau.
I'm jealous. There's no other way to put it.
Do everything.
Yeah, that was crazy to finish fourth. And then he had a hand. He had pocket kings against, I think it was pocket nines or something like that. And basically it was a straight, so they chopped it. The board was a straight, so they chopped it. So he could have probably finished in third or second. But basically won it all. But first high roller event and you finish in fourth shows you that, sometimes you just need the bankroll to play these higher events.
Yeah.
Because some guys can't risk 25, 50, 100K, but they have the skill to do it.
I am finding myself more intrigued with Triton than I am most WSOP events. They just, most of them just have more notable names more consistently. They're just stacked events. Maybe it's just the bankroll.
I think one, it's bankroll,
Yeah.
and two, it's like just accessibility, right? Like Triton is gonna get the 1% of the best players in the world,
Yeah.
and they're traveling across the world to go play. Versus WSOP, you're gonna have a lot more people that satellite in, a lot more like of the average business, entrepreneur that has money to play, that probably isn't able to go take the chance to go play in Jeju or whatever. So.
Yeah, and this,
That's why we like Chino Reem won event. Like, you used to hear Chino Reem's name all the time. But like these are people that you're consistently seeing. But it's very rare when someone wins a Triton event that we've never heard of them.
Exactly.
and the Triton's been since it started like kind of like a prestigious event for like that big time professional, that high roller, and so when you got the bankroll, you're poker pro. You look forward to these events because you're competing to possibly be the best in the world, Because you could have a bad summer, right? So maybe the WSOP, you don't play enough events, or you don't win a bracelet, or you're not competing for Player of the Year points. But you go to Triton and you can turn that around because look, 25K, 1.8 million for first, it's a lot, That's a good payday there too. So
0.8 million for a 25K entry. Not bad.
Well, not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. That's awesome.
How long was this event? Do we know? Runners and all that?
I don't know, but Rampage, I think, cashed for like 70, 80K as well too. So he cashed in this event too.
Okay.
Helmut Quitz.
Can't believe it.
I'm trying to find out how many runners there were. Hold on.
It wouldn't be on the Hendemam.
It would only show. I think it only shows how many players got paid out. I don't know if it'll. It may show runners. I'm not sure.
Entrance 223.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, you're right. 220 something.
Yeah.
228. Wait.
And then
163 re-entries. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's really what? 60 people?
80. Yeah, 60. 65. Yeah. That makes sense.
yeah, 65 unique players. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
GG.
crazy, huh? You just got 50K to burn? Minimum?
I mean, if you're flying across the world, you probably got it easy. So
That
Yeah,
lineup,
you're not
though.
going with one buy-in.
That lineup is crazy.
Yeah.
yeah, that's quite the. When Fedor Holtz is not making a final table, it's a stacked field.
Ivy, Antonius, they were all the Andrea Mateos.
Best of the best. All right, switching gears here. So, staying on, or I should say, going back to some of the poker drama. Some videos went absolutely viral. Probably a week ago now at the WSOP circuit event in Harrah's, where a man was caught on video flipping 3 tables. Apparently, this was taking place during a $1,700 main event. There were 65 players left. This man said essentially God told him to do it, and he flipped 3 tables. And tons of players pounced on him. Chips are flying, tables are flying. Just absolutely insane. I know us as poker players consistently, I know what the first thoughts in our mind would be in terms of how many chips did I have. Anger is going to flow in right away. But Fernando, as someone that doesn't necessarily play poker that often and you saw the video, what were the first thoughts that went through your head?
I mean,
What does he bench? Like,
yeah. Because me, I mean, yeah, I'd be super angry. But if I just saw some dude freaking lift some heavy ass table like the Hulk, I mean, I'm gonna think twice about trying to, because for me, automatically, I would want to like contain, and hopefully he doesn't do it anywhere else. But if I see that, I mean, I might have to be like, all right, I can't do that. But it's like, what do you do in that situation? If you're the player and your chips are gone, like, how do you?
I mean, that
Like,
video
what
showed
can be done?
That video definitely showed it that it was every type of personality in that room. You had the people that subdued him. You had the people that were trying to pick up chips. You had the people that were like, "Nah, bro, what are you doing, man?" You know. Then you had the yellers. You had the people calling like, "Hey, calling security."
the dude
like,
that put him in the ankle lock.
yeah, there was every personality in that 30-second video.
But at that point, does it stop?
So they
That's up to the director what they end up doing.
the tournament director paused it. It was like equal parts like playing the honest game and getting a good understanding of where tip counts were. And supposedly, from what I understand, within like 2 hours, I could be wrong, but within like 2 hours, they're able to get the game back up and running, which is insane because you're talking about an event that had 65 people left, and it was probably at least on like a day 3. You know, this is the main event of that whole series. So, I mean, I know what I would have thought. I would have had so much anxiety. Ice, I mean, what initial thoughts when you saw that video? What were you thinking?
So initial thoughts, I was like, he must have got hit with a bad beat or something like that. His aces got cracked in the river by 7 deuce or something like that. And he flipped the table over. Honestly, I was laughing. I was like, oh man, like, you know, when you lose a hand like that, your head, you kind of inside you want to flip the table, like.
Yeah, there's no poker player that hasn't thought about doing that.
We've been joking about flipping tables for 15 years now.
But
And
he
this guy
wasn't
did
even playing.
this guy did it 3 times.
And they're like, if I'm the chip leader in that tournament, I will freak out. I'll be like, what the, like, just,
Yeah.
you know, you're running hot, you're the chip leader, then you don't know, like, your chips are gone. And then, like, 2-hour break is like, you know, that's, it's a disaster. But
It's pretty tough to like try and.
Yeah, well,
Flip
this
this
is the
table right
streaming.
here. This is
This is
heavy
the
as
streaming
hell.
one, so it's bolted to the floor.
Oh, okay, but I mean, can you imagine, like, just imagine what that 2 hours felt like to someone that had a really big stack. It's like, at some point, the game has to continue, and it's kind of like your word against everyone else's. You just kind of accept the results, and there's no doubt, there's probably 65 people that don't have the same exact chip count that they had before. You know, everyone's is probably different.
I'll be realistic with you, though. These cameras, like, they can zoom in and they can see the color of the chip or whatever, so they can
But
pretty much.
keep in mind that's like that's probably done in a ballroom.
Yeah, this looked like
So,
a conference room. type
Yeah,
place.
so like, granted, I'm sure they have cameras set up. That's probably easy, but they probably don't have their everyday cameras like they do here. So I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, they're just as strong.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, how do you not stop him at the second one or the third one? He flipped over half the field. There's 65 runners, you know, and he flipped over 3 tables. So what? Maybe there's 7 tables, but you know what I mean?
he saw the new Hulk movie and was like,
I don't know. Like, how do you stop him there?
Well,
And the fact that he wasn't a player, like, how do you even know, like, that those were the right tables? Like, hey, we're playing 1-2 over here.
I know. Well, you know what's crazy is like I think I sent you guys a text of the guy's Twitter account that did it.
Yeah.
It turned out that wasn't the guy who did it. That was just happened to be a poker player with like long curly hair.
Yeah.
And people were automatically saying like, "Oh, that's so and so," but it wasn't him. And like the guy that accused him right away,
Yeah.
once he found out it wasn't him, he came out and apologized. But like that's even crazy too. Can you imagine you're at home, you're not playing poker, and then people are like, "Oh, Alan Masterson just flipped 3 tables at the," and you're like, what did I do?
Right here.
No, that's I don't know what his name was, but
Yeah.
that's crazy, crazy.
God.
So like,
So, was it just like everyone said what they had? Like, you know, at that point, 1,700, you pretty much you know how many big blinds you have at any moment. You may not know your exact chip count, but you know how many big blinds you have.
yeah, I don't know if
Or did they just do like average stack for everybody?
I'm not too sure.
hell no.
Yeah, no. From what I understand, they took a lot of like the honesty game into it. I think they went around. They got a good idea as to where everyone was at, and they probably looked at how many chips were still in play, and then based it off of that. they had to have some sort of video evidence, and then they
collusion.
yeah.
A little collusion, like, oh, I had 50K. What I have exactly?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he had 50K. I saw him.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, from what I understand, that was it. But it from the article I read didn't go into detail as to what they did beyond. Because at some point, like
They figured it out.
you as a tournament director, like you're not gonna ask 65 different people things. Like you'll never get done. You'll have to start the tournament the next day. So crazy scenario nonetheless. And what's funny is the next question I had for the group was with that in mind, and we're entering kind of a slower period of poker before the WSOP kicks off, right? Like this is kind of like that point in the fall where it's kind of slow, and then you got WSOP Paradise or something. So this is a slower time in poker, but then we had within the last week the Triton series, the Club WPT fun stuff, the man flipping the table. So poker is alive and well even during a slow time. But knowing it's a slow time, I wanted to kind of talk a little bit about like what type of content are you watching these days, right? Because, I don't play video games nearly as often as I used to. I don't really watch TV shows. If I'm sitting and binging something, I'm typically watching something poker related. So I know what I've been watching. So I guess I'll start with Ice because I know we've been texting every day talking about Vegas pretty much. What poker content are you continuously watching to kind of either stay up to date or just kind of be entertained from a poker perspective?
So I've been watching a lot of vlogs, Brad Owen vlogs, DePaulo, just every vlog pretty much on YouTube. Rampage, Mariano, Hustler, like just live cash games. And then when it gets kind of like boring or like just, I'm trying to get my mindset for tournaments for the WSOP. So sometimes the cash games are just like, okay, that's not going to happen in the tournament. I start watching Vegas movies. Like I just saw Casino yesterday just to get me amped up for Vegas. It is what it is, but that gets me like hyped. And then like this today, while I was working, I was watching WPT on Amazon. So just on Amazon Prime. So just like live, whatever they were doing some reruns or whatever. So that's what I've been watching.
Okay.
Rounders. It's always Rounders. Rounders is always on a loop. That's my fall asleep to movie. YouTube is. I watch a lot of YouTube. So it's always ranging in between either like Brad Owen or even like some of the like mindset people. So it'd be like Grips or the Solve for Why podcast or something like that. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. DePaulo it's there, but for some reason I just just kind of glanced over it.
Yeah. I think up until I started discovering some new stuff, I started watching some old Boski stuff. I love Boski stuff.
Yeah.
His playlists are kind of a mess. Like even the WSOP one from last year is not in order.
Yeah.
And I like to watch it in chronological order because obviously it's important.
Yeah.
But was watching that. Obviously Rounders is always going to be a go-to, and then any Vegas-based movie. But I watched. Ice had recommended watching Bracelet Hunt, which is like a 6-7 episode series, which is really good. It focuses on a different player in each episode and kind of, their deep run into an event, whether it's a main event, a tag team event, whatever the case. That's really good. I saw the Dreamers poker documentary. I finished that one last night.
Where's that one on?
That's on YouTube as well. That one is on a YouTube channel called Above the Felt. And that one's really good. It essentially starts with like Berkey, Rampage. What's the female's name? I don't know why I can't think of her name. She's literally up on TV 2 seconds ago. Jamie Kirkisette or something like that.
Okay, good.
She's in there. And then there's a couple other players, really good players. Landon Tice is in there. And it basically follows all of them playing a WPT tournament and then kind of moving on. And at the end, none of them really run deep. But then it switches gears, and then it talks about Rampage and the shot that he took in a 25K high roller, and then the one he won. So it's really cool because it kind of just goes right into that. So Dreamers was really good. Old WSOP tournament videos, as we prep. I can't really watch Cash right now. Cash is not entertaining to me. Hustler, $200,000 pots, I don't care. I'd rather watch old WSOP videos. And then the last one is Hustlers, Gamblers, and Crooks. That's kind of like they do like 3 people per episode. It's on HBO, and it's just really funny. Like I like it because it's all about like people being absolutely degenerates and scamming the house, but they typically always win at the end of the day. So I like that because
Oh, I saw that one. They had like one of the
wants the
episode
house
was
to win.
a baccarat dealer or something like that. It was a
So they had.
Asian like
I don't know if I've seen that one yet,
dealer.
but they had the blackjack episode where oh sorry, they had the roulette one where the guy's doing like the roulette arena things, and he realized that every time the ball dropped into a slot, it took 3 seconds for the computer to recognize it. So he started telling his regulars, he's like, hey, put it on 17 or something. So then he would essentially pick the ball up right before it stopped, and he'd drop it on 17 because he had a 3 second window, and then he was making everyone money, and then he started taking a cut. So eventually they had him on video, and they found him out, but during like the dispositions and stuff, the pictures that they showed weren't him. So they immediately had to throw the case away, and he basically got a slap on the wrist and like $100 fine. Like he could have been in jail for like years apparently.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome. So it's stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
it's stories about like
Ocean's 13.
it's stories about like pool sharks,
Yeah.
taking money off of people. There's one with Mickey Mace, who I can't stand, but it's entertaining nonetheless. So cool stuff. But
Is that is it the episode where the guy like duplicates chips or whatever? Or maybe that's another series I'm thinking about.
that might be a different series. I think. Yeah, I think that's a different one. But that sounds good too. I'll watch that. So yeah, slower time, but there's a lot of there's so much content. There's another one I saw. I think it's called For the Love of the Game, and it's only like 5 years old, and I think I want to see that one. So but there's not enough content though to keep us busy for the next couple months. That's for sure.
I'm gonna be honest. Whoever created bracelet hunting, whatever, they need to keep going on with that. That gets you motivated for the WSOP, for sure. It's I think one of the most underrated short films on YouTube.
There's
amazing.
Bracelet Hunt, Dreamers. What's the other one? Oh, Stack. Ultimate Stack.
Ultimate Stack. Yeah.
Ultimate Stack was really good. Because Ultimate Stack, the whole premise is, let's say the tournament starts with you. We're learning about you. We're interviewing you the whole time, and we follow your journey through this 5-day tournament.
And then they bust and they go to
And then you
someone else.
bust to Fernando, and now Fernando, who had nothing to do with the documentary before, is now the subject of the documentary. So he's like, I guess you're going to follow me around.
Yeah.
So then it keeps going until this guy makes the final table, and then Chris Moorman beats him. Chris Moorman's a legend, online legend specifically. And then Chris Moorman busts to eventual winner. And so it's a pretty cool concept. If you have people that are just down to do it, you're going to have content all the way to the end.
Yeah.
And I mean that'd be a really cool thing for us to do during like the ship it in or something.
Yeah. That just doesn't work here. Nobody wants to be on camera.
Half the time people are really shy here.
Yeah.
That's true. You want to take the next one, Ice?
So, breaking news: the snap call will be at the WSOP for this year, 2025. Me and Xavier will be out there so far. Hector, you're gonna join us. Hopefully, I'll be there starting on June 7th. Xavier will join me June 9th to the 13th. And basically,
What are you going to be playing, Ice?
yeah, so the events I'm thinking of playing, I'm gonna pull like a little degenerate as soon as I land. I land at 10 a.m. I'm gonna take an Uber straight to the Horseshoe, and with my luggage, I'm gonna be playing the $400. Was it $500 this year?
$500.
$500 Colossus tournament. So hopefully I run deep and I don't have to check in until Sunday morning. But
I was gonna say, hope you
that's
don't even check into a room.
Well, before you do that, you got to go to Harrah's. Put 150 on a hard 8.
that's the game plan. Little nervous about the lines because that's the last day of that Colossus tournament, so I'm a little bit nervous of the lines.
There could easily be like 4,000 people in that flight, which is crazy.
Oh, I know.
It's crazy.
So but I'm excited. And then the next day, Sunday, if I don't make day 2, that's a $600 no limit PLO mixed tournament. I'm excited for that. And then Xavier lands, and then show them the tournaments we're gonna jump in.
So when I land about 10, give or take as well. I'll be doing the same exact thing, rushing over to Paris. There is an $800 8-handed no limit hold'em tournament that kicks off. And then the very next day, and obviously we'll just win it, but if for some reason we don't late reg in time or something, there's a $1,500 super turbo bounty. There's also a a $1,500 limit tournament that takes place that week. There's a couple different things. So lots and lots of options. But those are the two WSOP tournaments that I have my eyes set on. There's the other one that's like, I have an asterisk next to because don't have that type of money, but I want to try and satellite into it because I always love these types of structures. It's a 3K tournament. I believe it might be six-handed, and I've always liked short-handed play. So I'm gonna try and satellite into that because obviously I don't have $3,000. So and Snapcall don't got that type of money either. But that's the goal. And then of course we have the Win, MGM Grand, Venetian, Golden Nugget, Resorts World, who's putting on some really good tournaments recently, and then you also have Orleans is going to have a series. You're talking about 5, 6, 7, 8 other casinos are going to have some really big tournaments. So would love to play as many bracelet events as possible, but outside of playing those two specific tournaments, I will be prioritizing prize pools and soft fields outside of that because I want to win a bracelet, but I'm trying to win a big ass prize pool as well. So. Yeah.
Once they leave on the 13th, that's when I'm going to come in. I'm going to play the 25K Players Championship, the one drop. So was that 100,000? And then play some $100, $200 at the Bellagio. So I'm gonna keep it real light.
Cactus gonna play the daily deep stacks.
I can't wait for like you said. I can't wait
for the $200 daily deep stacks, and we hope you run deep. But he'll be helping us film a lot of content in between.
I'll be sitting at the blackjack table,
or he'll be playing some 1-1 limit at the Orleans.
I can't wait for the other poker room series to come out because I want to set up a schedule where it's just like I have no time for cash. It's just like if I'm here, I'm jumping to this one for a tournament.
No, I got Kenny. And I always forget how to say his last name. I think it's Haler. He had run deep in the main event a couple years ago. Every year he's known for creating this like master spreadsheet of every tournament series, and then breaks down by tournament, and then it breaks down by how many times you rebought, so you can keep track of your buy-ins. Yeah. Obviously he's a pro. He's probably got $1 million. He's gonna bring it this summer alone. So, that's a completely different type of level. But there are tools out there that will allow us to keep track of what's going on in the city, because it'll be nice to be like, hey, I just min cashed this event. It's 10 o'clock. I can go late reg at Golden Nugget right now, and you're free rolling. So, that's kind of the goal. Team no sleep. We'll be eating a lot of White Castle and In-N-Out Burger out there for sure, or a nice steak on the snap call budget. So, Fernando, what type of events are you playing?
I think I'm gonna join that 25,000 high roller event.
It's fun, man. Play games you never heard of before.
I like that.
Get a cool trophy.
So, we're a couple months out from Vegas. We talk about preparation, right, in general. But, we talk about, like, hand reviews, watching old tournament videos and all that other stuff. But a lot of things people don't talk about is, like, all of the other things that you need to prep for, right? Mm-hmm. The long 12-hour days. You can't even walk to the poker room without walking by the pits, the slot machines, the alcohol, the clubs. And then the grind in general is just super distracting.
Do they sell 5-hour energies anymore? I feel like I haven't seen one forever. But
they do.
That was my
you mean
jam.
in general? Yeah.
I feel like I haven't.
I remember. I don't know if I was with you, but one of our trips, we went to Walgreens and everyone loaded up on 5-hour energies. Yeah. Like we specifically we went there for that.
Energies. Now it's rock stars, but Celsius. But
so I mean, with that said, like, what if you had to pick one thing that you feel like you have to prep for the most outside of the play itself? What would you say you got to mentally prepare for the most for?
Outside the play?
Yep. Outside of the cards. The moment you leave your table, you bagged up. What are you preparing for the next day or in that moment? Because there's a lot of different factors, right? A lot of the distractions.
Yes, I'm not a guy to be like, oh, I'm gonna jump on the blackjack table. I'm gonna jump here. I think my main thing is the 12, 14-hour grind and stuff like that. Just keeping a straight mental head, and distraction is just kind of like mentally, just if I like lose a tournament, bust a tournament, right? I can't be with a sourpuss face like the whole time. Like, I'm not gonna jump back in. I think that's my main thing. I gotta.
So would you say holding off and not like rebuying and just starting fresh the next day is a challenge, or
No, like not like firing another bullet right away. I need to
Okay.
do that more instead of just like, oh, I'm not gonna fire a bullet.
okay? So like,
because,
got you. Like not sulk, but just be like, yo,
I'm being a
I'm getting
little
back
whiny
in.
crybaby because you know, I had the best hand, it didn't hold up, and I've been playing for 7 hours, and all these people at the table are nowhere near the skill as I am, and you know, that's what I gotta do better of. 'Cause,
I
like,
got you.
it happened a few
So having
tournaments
a
here, like it's just like the guy to my right sucks, guy to my left sucks, and it's just like you make the perfect play, and then they beat you with, you know. And it's just, I'm not buying back in. This is pissing me off, you know? I got to do a better job. Like, okay, whatever, that bullet's gone. Let's fire another one.
yeah. So having a short memory, right? Because we're there to play poker, and if you have the ability to jump back in, don't sulk, type of thing.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
What about you?
I'd say my weakness is the $1 baccarat tables at the Venetian. That's, I would say.
It's definitely an outlier. If you had to graph your win losses, that's all the way over there.
Listen, we are profitable in the WSOP tournaments. We are 2 for 2. We typically do pretty well in cash.
Yeah.
It's the baccarat tables I gotta stay away from. No, I'd say I didn't necessarily feel the fatigue so much on day 2 of the shootout the first day because it was one table, right? So we probably played for like 5 hours before I knocked the last guy out. So that's not a long time. When we did the 888, that was a 12-hour day, but day 2 wasn't until like 2 days later. So we chilled by the pool that whole day. We were drinking. We went to the dispensary. we were hanging out with Keith and Bobby. Like that was a fun night, or that was a fun day. But I didn't necessarily feel that fatigue. But I don't know. Like I would say, just preparing for the grind in general. Like if I expect to have at least 1 or 2 deep runs. Hopefully, at least make 1 or 2 day 2s. So I think it's being able to say, hey, I'm not gonna stay up late. Having the discipline to say, let's get a nice dinner. Let's go back to the room and treat it as business.
I got to stick to the game plan. Set up a game plan. I bust this, for example, $500 tournament. There's a 300 going in the Golden Nugget. Like, let's go, Stick to the game plan. I'm like, oh, let's see what cash games, or let's see. Like, no, I just got to stick to the game plan because I feel like once I register, like, I'm committed now.
Yeah.
And I got to stick to that.
I think, yeah, no, 100%. And, I have like a rule. Like, I don't play cards in between like day 1s or day 2s or after a tournament. I don't play cash. Like, I'm just like, got the mindset set for tournaments in general. I'm not trying to mess it up. I go play 1-2 and have fun and some drinks. Like, that's what I did after the shootout. And I felt like it allowed me to play really good poker the next day. Like, so I think just having the discipline, like you said, sticking to the game plan. And I think the biggest thing is treating it like a business.
Yeah.
You investing in yourself. You're an entrepreneur. Handle your business.
Yeah, no, that's my Achilles heel. Is not, I can skip cash, like that's not a problem. It's everything else on the way to the room. You know what I mean? So
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
We'll play some craps, but nothing like crazy.
Yeah, the craps table, the roulette table. That's where I'm losing most of my money. It's not in poker. You know what I mean? So it's just, but it's hard not to play those because, for me, like I know it's business, but I'm like, this is vacation. This is my vacation. This is my time to let loose. So to not almost gamble the whole time.
Yeah, I think that's
it's hard.
I got this year. I'm coming with this. This is not vacation. This is running deep in tournaments this year. Obviously at night, get a steak, play some crabs.
Yeah.
Put that aside. Like, hey, this is crab money or roulette because those games are fun. Whatever. Nothing too much, but just to have fun. Whatever. That's about it. I don't. Alcohol might be at a minimum too.
He lying. He gonna be ordering Hennessy and cranberries with a lime.
He's in the money.
Obviously, if we grind out 12 hours, we make day 2s. Like, okay, day 2 don't start until later on in the day. Yeah, have a drink or whatever. That's main thing is sticking to the game plan.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we're not drinking while we're playing or anything like that.
There was some regrets I had last time, which as far as just like, even though I made money, go play cash. I should have been like, okay, let's go play. Let's jump in a tournament, even if it's a daily. But let's just jump in tournaments. And I would just I got eliminated from this tournament. Let me go play 2-5 at the Venetian or 2-5 at the Bellagio, 2-5 at the Rio, and it's just like, come on, man, like, you gotta stick to the plan.
I have a vision. I have a vision of us making some day twos, having a nice dinner after, having a drink at the lobby bar, and just calling it a night, and maybe reviewing some hands together, and we cuddle, and that's it.
Hey, yo.
We can't review hands. We're gonna all be at the same final table.
Ice gonna be that little spoon that night, bro. All right. So real quick before we sign off, huge shout out to the Side Bet podcast, Renee, who had me and Hector on behalf of us for the Snap Call. We got to talk a little bit about our background, how we got into poker. We talked a little bit about some WSOP main event, kind of altering moments of all time. So, shout out to Renee. If you guys don't follow him on all social media platforms, the Side Bet podcast. He's based out of Texas. He has a massive chip collection, and he has a fantastic channel. So thank you so much for showing us so much love, bringing us on your podcast.
I end up going over there. I'll definitely bring some of mine to show you.
Yeah. No, we already messaged him and said we're going to bring him a couple from Orange City, Daytona, just to, as a thanks, but also help him increase his little collection as well.
Yep.
Some upcoming tournaments. This Thursday, the 100K Spring Classic kicks off in Daytona. $300 buy-in, 6 starting flights. Day 2 is on Sunday. Some really good value there for $300. They're probably going to smash that guarantee. Probably going to get closer to about 200K. So you're probably looking at about close to 40K for first place, I would imagine. Definitely check that out. And then here in Orange City on March 14th is going to kickstart the March into Mystery Weekend, which is a series of 3 tournaments, $50,000 guaranteed among the 3, with kind of their marquee event being a 50K guaranteed tournament on the 16th. That's going to be a Mystery Bounty tournament as well. So pretty cool stuff. Ice is coming on this Saturday, and you want to tell me a little bit about this Saturday, Ice?
This Saturday they'll be hosting kind of like a poker influencer kind of live stream game right here on this table. You can see this backdrop. I'm going to be participating along with a few local guys as well, and that will be aired on the Thursday.
Is that your seat?
Hopefully.
C1?
Hopefully. This is I love C1, but hopefully I get to sit here. But end of the day, it's a 1-3 game, $500 max, and it's just to have fun. Just to see myself on YouTube too, so that'd be nice.
What's your mentality? What's your mindset going into there? Are you gonna be overly aggressive? Are you gonna just approach it as fun? You trying to make some serious money and show people you can play? Like
Just gonna call everything.
what's your
I don't
approach?
get bluff.
So realistically, when I play cards, I'm always there to make serious money. That's just something I have. Like, hey, I'm here to make money. And then also, at least when I sit on the table, I feel like competition. So it's just like I have to feel like I have to win. But my game plan, honestly, is just they might have some bomb pots because it's like an influencer game. So play some bomb pots here and there, but be a little aggressive, not too aggressive. Just it's only 3 hours, but I'm also gonna be the first time actually playing a stream game, so I don't want to look like the donkey either and lose 2 buy-ins. So honestly, my game plan is just play my game and that's it. Have fun, interact with the table, and hopefully get sell some disgusting stuff that people can view us. I'm gonna be having at least a Snap Call hat on, so market us as well too.
Representing us, no pressure.
Yeah. So,
Well,
I'm excited.
shout out to Ice because we talked about it earlier this year. What is one of your goals for 2025? And he said to be on a live stream poker game. And 3 months into the year, he's going to be doing it. So good luck. You'll be repping us and have fun. That's the most important thing.
Yeah, and that's another thing. When you say how I want to play too, I got to know that I'm representing the Snap Call as well too. So I can't go out there look like a donkey.
You're looking like no Buster out there.
Suck, yeah. I don't want to look like PD State fresh.
Let's see. So the next Ship It in Deep Stack will be taking place March 29th over down the street, I-4 in Daytona. That's going to be, I believe, a 6:10 p.m. start time. I believe they have a larger tournament taking place probably during the day. We'll get more details out to you before then. But mark your calendars, March 29th, the next Ship It in Deep Stack $200 5K guarantee tournament. Outside of that, guys,
I want to say something too. You notice that from a room that never done tournaments before, and then they started doing tournaments. Look, on Monday, 80 something runners, right? It's 80 or 90 something, 85,
85, yeah.
85 runners and stuff like that.
Crazy.
And they're hitting all their guarantees here and stuff like that. Besides that big moneymaker one, you make the tournaments, you get the staff, players will come. Like, and this is awesome because remember, before we had just that other room and there was like no tournaments, just like your daily $100 ones or whatever.
Yeah.
Just Daytona had though, but look, Orange City 85 on a Monday, the 100K one day are getting shattered, the Almighty, so it's awesome.
yeah.
Just to see the growth.
I think
Definitely doing everything right.
Yeah, no, the expansion has definitely paid for itself. I'm sure 5 times over by now, but I think their approach with the leaderboards.
Yeah.
I mean, we looked over there, right? There goes my friend. He's leaving right now. Wait for me in the parking lot. You know these are nothing but regs right now. You know, and not to scare anyone off that just wants to go play a game tonight or something, but like that just goes to speak about the loyalty and this how important the monthly leaderboard means to a lot of these people. So, and plus, hey, for $130, you're playing for how much is up top? 2,400
Yeah.
Yep.
on a Monday night. Doesn't get much better than that. So,
Yeah.
all right, fellas, I think that's all we got. We appreciate the support, the love on TikTok, all social media platforms. We will catch you guys on the 29th for our next podcast. And until then, see you then.
On the flippity flip.